Hi, J. Frederick Smith here, Continental Realty of Jacks. We're at 1133 Laurel Valley something, and we're just getting ready to head on inside. Got the box and the door open, so let's step in and see what we got. Get my shoes off here. So, nice tile entryway. In fact, looks like a good chunk of the lower floor all has the same gray tile. These are 16 or maybe 18 by 18 tiles. And we'll get in, look at the back here in a minute, but we're gonna start right away by going into the office. Double French doors to go in there, gray carpet. Not everybody likes carpet, but this is what it was put in originally, is this gray carpet. I can tell because of the way that the carpet comes up to the tile. Interesting little chandelier light hanging from the ceiling. It's a pretty good sized room at about 16 by 16. And you know, it's in the corner, those corner ones. A nice big window letting in lots of light from the front. And you can look out onto the front porch if you so desire. Here you can see the front porch, which is a pretty nice little front porch, actually. So AC works good. Outlets, looks like there's 3 outlets in the room and a cable connection if that matters to you. Okay. So let's just keep going around the corner here and check out the first little water closet or restroom. I think it's just a half bath. Yep, it's just a half bath. It's not quite a water closet because there is a sink here. A pedestal sink, no windows. Triple vanity light, little mirror that is not a medicine cabinet mirror. And, you know, low flow flush toilet. This one has been installed correctly with the caulk all the way around it at the base. You can see down here how that's all caulked in, and the caulk looks nice and clean. You know, this caulk after a while wears out and you need to kind of cut it out with a box knife or something and put down new. And that keeps problems from getting under your toilet that you don't want. It really is a good thing. They did it on the pedestal of the sink as well, although that's not quite as critical. It does help to hold that pedestal in place if it's a 2-piece. And it probably, yeah, it's a 2-piece. So, all right, so this is just a small little restroom, which is okay. Then we've got a little closet here for coats and utilities, you know, like your vacuum, your broom. I don't know how I would put that stuff in here if you've got a lot of coats, because it's not a very big closet. It's maybe 4 feet across. So a room for a few things. You can see here what they've got, like 4 or 5 coats, and how crowded it is just with that. The shelf is at the correct height, plenty of room up above it for big stuff. And you got a lot of room down below too. So I guess it's pretty good. Okay, ceiling height is nice at, what is this? Probably 10 feet of ceiling height. Very nice. I like the higher ceilings. Appreciate that. The dining area has interesting square type chandelier hanging over where the table would go if it was yours. Although I don't think I would ever put a carpet down under a table because, you know, why would you do that? Everything spills off the table and onto the carpet. Better to just have the tile floors down there. That's what I say. In fact, put the tile in the middle, put the tile here, and then the carpet on the outside. That seems like a better idea. Okay, a butler's pantry going into the kitchen, little butler's pantry. They've got it set up for a coffee, kind of a coffee stop with some tall, soft close pantry doors, you know, cabinet doors, a couple of drawers, and doors down below, lots of storage. To the right of that is, what is this? This is the real pantry here, which is a nice size, fluorescent lighting on the ceiling. The shelving looks like it's supposed to stay, but you know, sometimes what I see is that people will take the shelves out and they'll leave the brackets. So if you decide you're interested in this place, you have to make sure that we remind them that they have to leave the shelving in this pantry unless you decide you don't like it. Same flooring that we see the rest of the house so far. The kitchen is a decent size, and it looks out over the living room. The kitchen island in the middle is pretty gigantic with quartz countertops. This thing is pretty close to 6 feet across and maybe 12 feet. 6 by 12 is huge, with the sink, farmer style. Well, it's not really farmer style, but it is a similar to that undermount stainless sink with the pull down faucet, which is nice. 4-burner glass top, burner top with the microwave over the top of that. And this is where your fan is too. If you look underneath here, it's your exhaust fan as well, and a double oven over here on one side. You know what I like about that is that with the glass burners, you still have access to the space below it. So those 2 drawers are usable, although the above thing there is just a blank and you can't really do anything with it. The drawers are definitely usable, and the double oven is really, really nice. I like the kitchen. It's not quite as wide as I wish. You know, another foot or 2 over that way, I think maybe I would like better, but that's just a personal thing. I like the gray tiled look, backsplash. I like the big size pulls. These are, I think these are like an 8-inch pull and pretty thick, and they use those everywhere. I like that. I like the tall cabinets that we have for the uppers. So really, the kitchen is good. And like I said, it does look out over the living space, the main living space. So if you're busy doing dishes, which by the way, it has a dish. Oh, wait, here, let's look at this. Okay, so that's just a little door for the trash. So if you have to do dishes by hand in the sink, you can at least face your living room while you're at it. There is a dishwasher, of course, right? Nice place for the refrigerator over there. The pendulum lights. That's not what they're called, but whatever. They are kind of match what we've been seeing for the lighting in the rest of the house, including the dining room light back there, the squarish one. These are both squares, and we got a little rectangular one here in this little eat-in area that they've got set up kind of between the kitchen and the living space. Flush mount lighting or inset lighting, of course, is the way we want it, and we've got the insets here, so that's good. Okay, so here we're looking at restroom number 2, and I believe this is also another, well, okay, so it's a double as a mudroom. We've got a door that goes out the back. Onto the back screen porch. Okay, so we have a door out the back, which is nice if you're out there and getting muddy, that you can just come in onto the tile floor in the back rather than going through the front and making a giant mess. Toilet, pedestal sink, the little mirror, the vanity lights, all basically it's the same gray paint too. So, and about the same size as the last one, maybe a little bit bigger because of the door, but it's a half bath and it's still okay. The quartz sticks out over enough that you have a little bar area, breakfast bar kind of strip along the front of this. So just like what you see here, we can easily put some bar stools along there if you don't feel like sitting at the table. I'm not sure I really like having this other table here. I kind of feel like I wish that was off to the side somehow. It doesn't really go with the flow to have it off to the side, but I also think it steals some of the space that you have for openness for the living room, which with this here, the living room space actually isn't very big, or at least it doesn't feel very big to me. There is a nice gas fireplace inset in the brick faux wall thing there. Whether those cabinets are built in or not, I don't know. I think they're, well, hard to say. I can't tell whether or not you would get those. Maybe. The art is nice, but, I need a place for my TV, right? And it can't be on that wall because there's lighting. I guess it could be over here, but then it's not really where the seating would be facing. I don't know. It's just, once again, it kind of feels a little bit small, especially with that little table there. It's just me. You know, you're going to like what you like. All right, let's continue on around the corner. We'll go upstairs here in a minute. We've got probably a closet, understair closet, and it's giant understair closet. So you can see it goes way back there. And that's really nice. This is you want a place to store your Christmas boxes and whatnot, and you don't want it in the attic. This is the place, or your shoe collection, I guess, is also good. Okay, down the hall here, short little hall. More shoes. Just another coat closet here in the hallway. There is a built-in bench with some coat hangers and whatnot. Looks nice, right by what would be the garage door, more than likely. Yep, right by the garage door. And the two-car garage has painted and coated concrete floors. It's almost a three-car because this side is really long, as you can see. Water heater is a tank style in the back, and that looks nice. There's a window in the garage, though. I'm not sure I like the window in the garage, but that's just, I guess, how I am. The utilities, you see that? That's the main power line into the house. And why it's on the outside of the wall like that got me, I don't know. But there is the electric panel for the house in the garage, which is in a good place. So why they just put the conduit in instead of getting that in the wall, I don't know. Who cares, I guess. Thank you. ADT Security, by the way, that's what that is. All right, so we've looked at the whole downstairs. There's no bedrooms downstairs. There's 2 bathrooms, the main living space, the kitchen, the office that's in the front, the dining area that's here off to the side, and that's it. So let's head on up the stairs. Wood plank staircase, and it really feels like wood planks. It does not feel like fake wood or anything. It's just stained nice. Carpet on the upper floor. Tray ceiling here, and this, it's almost like a loft area that's right at the top of the stairs. Bedroom to the left, bedrooms to the right. The laundry is upstairs. Nice. The laundry is upstairs with the bedrooms. Thank you so much. Carting that stuff up and down is just no fun. Using the same tiles that we have down below, and maybe this is like a little utility closet here. Yeah, so perfect place to store all your cleaning supplies and whatnot. Probably good for linens, since it just happens to be right here where you can fold them and put them away easily. So, okay, bedroom on the left. This bedroom is maybe 16 by 13 with a window that looks out over the neighbor's roof. Door to a Jack and Jill. Okay, so we've got a Jack and Jill restroom with a quartz countertop and a single basin sink. Nice big picture mirror, triple vanity light here now. Yeah, so it really is a full bath with a tub. Let me turn on the light in here. With the tub and the toilet and behind another door. So the nice thing is, you know, you can come in here from either bathroom or either bedroom, and that only gets you access to the sink. You can still have privacy if you happen to be taking a shower or using the toilet, because there's that extra door there. So that's good. Some thoughts there on that. Going through to the next, let me turn off this light here. Going through to the next bedroom, ceiling fan, thank you. Carpet, you know, the carpet looks like it's at least in good shape. Big window letting in lots of light, this time not looking at the neighbor's roof, but looking across the front of the house and out onto the street. Double doors on the closet. These are the bifold doors. They open like they're supposed to. The closet itself is maybe 8 feet from one side to the other and 30 or 32 inches deep. The bar and the shelf are up, well, they're up too high. This bar actually should be down about here, which would bring the shelf down also, because the problem is that the gap between the inside of the door and the top of that shelf is really small. So getting any big stuff up in there is going to be difficult. Most builders know better than that. What do you do? Okay, there's a look down over the front door, and you see that little shelf there. That's the perfect place for dusting. I mean, how do you do that? You don't have to get like a 12-foot step ladder to dust that and to clean that window. I mean, I like having a window up there because it lets in the light, but do they really have to put the shelf? That's like from the 80s. You know, we stopped doing that because having to dust those was so horrible. And the thing is, everybody that's upstairs can look right down at that, right? So that'll be fun. Nice flush, $10 flush mount light on the ceiling. Maybe a chandelier would be good there too. That's also pretty 80s, but you know, it's what it is. Okay, so we skipped these double doors. Now I think this is where the HVAC is. And I'm right. It's a big, big area just for the double air handlers. One for the upstairs, one for the downstairs. Bryant air handlers. The room is nice and clean. They've done a nice job of keeping the filters in and whatnot. I don't know where the air intakes are at. It's not these doors because there's no ventilation here. The carpet going in there is different. So that makes me think this carpet has been replaced recently. As you can see here, the gray compared to the tan, that tan is the original carpet. This gray is an add-on. They would not put carpet in two pieces like that if this was the original. Okay, so that's a lot of power for the heat and air, and that's a good thing. You know, you're not gonna have any problems with cooling in this house. Okay, let's see. I think, well, we'll get down to the end of that. Let's first go around the corner here. We've got a double bifold closet. This is the actual linen closet that they're using. Same, about 8 feet by 32, with lots of shelves here for your sheets, blankets, pillows, blah, blah, blah. They did a nice job of staging this house, I have to say. Okay, bedroom number 3, off by itself. It's a little bit bigger than the other two at maybe 16 by 16. It has 2 big windows, one double that looks out the front and then a single that looks out over into the neighbor's window across the way there. So, you know, if you just keep your binoculars on the window ledge right there, you'll be able to, I don't even think you need binoculars for that view. It's pretty close. In any case, that's probably their bedroom there too. Then the closet, this is like about the same as we've seen. Actually, this closet is a little bit bigger, probably about 10 feet from one end of the closet to the other, 32 inches deep. And the same problem here, you know, it's so tight between this and the top of that shelf that getting anything up there besides a pretty small box is just not gonna, it's just not gonna fit. I wish they'd have put that down a little lower. Now, with that said, some of the clothing here is really long. These are some tall people. And so maybe they had to have that up that high because look at, I mean, that's almost on the ground. And this here is level with my eyes. So that is, if I wore that dress, it would be dragging on the ground. If I did that, you would never know it because I would never do that in public. Okay, and I think there's a separate restroom here. All right, so what we've got is the same tile floors that we have upstairs. This is a full bath, toilet, tub, tiled surround. You know, we've seen this 1,000 times, right? This is kind of the normal layout with that and everything all tight up together. Single basin sink with a quartz countertop, little picture mirror. Same triple vanity light we've seen in every room. That's at least one good thing about a newer construction home is all the lighting kind of lines up with everything. Countertops kind of line up with all the other ones. I like that. So, shower curtain. You know what I think about shower curtains. I'm not going to say anymore, except put some doors in, you know, really. especially in an upstairs bathroom. Just think about this. Kids are busy splashing away. The grout line has cracked and the caulk is cracked under the tub after a couple of years, and it's splashing away and the water is soaking down into the floor joists. And then what? You know, really, that is not what you want. That is not what you want. Get a shower door, and that will absolutely prevent that kind of problem or mitigate most of it. And that's really why I say that. You just don't need to have water damage in your house. You don't want water pouring into the floor upstairs because that's into the ceiling downstairs. You know, that causes all sorts of trouble. All right, let's go on down to the end of the hall here. Okay, here's our little game area, loft area, whatever you want to call it. We already looked at that. I didn't see any cable connections. There's a TV up here, but let's look. Yeah, okay, so there's a cable connection. So that's good. At least there is a way to get, your cable in here if that's what you want. So this will be the master. Tray ceiling, nice high ceilings, extra high because of the tray with the ceiling fan there. Seating area off to one side, a little interesting light that doesn't really go with the rest of the lights in the house, but that's okay. 3 banks of windows that look out over the back of the house, over the water or into the neighbor's yard. And all this new gray carpet everywhere. Plenty of space for any kind of bedroom set that you have. You know, I don't know. I think that would have made a nice closet. But if you want a seating area in your master, then that's good. I like the walk-in closet better. All right, master bath. So we're looking at the same tile that we've seen everywhere else. A single basin sink, really? Come on, you guys. There should be 2 sinks up here, not 1. But I guess that's the way it is. The little triple vanity light that we've been seeing everywhere. Inset lighting, corner tub, no jets though, kind of the heart-shaped one. It's nice, but you know, especially with these windows here, you can just stand in your tub and enjoy looking out at the neighbors and everything. I just love that. Too bad that they're clear glass though. You know, that just always makes things a little more difficult for me. Oh, you know what? The reason why it's only 1 on that side is because it's also 1 on this side. So you've got 2 separate vanities, 2 separate countertops, and 2 separate sinks. Big walk-in closet. So yeah, you've got this one here, then the tub, then the shower, and then over here you've got a second one. Okay, so that's really nice, I guess. No bumping elbows when brushing teeth. Shower door, thank you. Interesting tile work on the pan of the shower, that's the floor part. The same gray tiles that we've seen in the other showers, and some black, you know, normally I would call this oiled bronze, but it's not. This really is a black shower head, double shower head with the spray, and then the handle and a light. So no rain shower head, but that's a pretty good size one. So that kind of almost works for that. A place to hang some towels or robes right outside. And the glass is nice and thick on this door. This is a nice door. Okay, so coming up to the walk-in closet, we have a water closet on one side. And on the other side, we have a linen closet. And, you know, that's plenty for all of your makeup and personal care needs, as well as maybe get some sheets and towels like you can see. And this is definitely a water closet because there's no sink or anything in there. It's just the toilet, but you know, that's not a problem because you've got a sink here and a sink over there too. So you're good on that. Okay, the walk-in closet has the built-in shelves all done in this dark wood like we see on the stairs. There is a some hanging racks that are made of this painted pipe, you know, kind of an industrial look. That's okay if you like that industrial look. It looks nice, actually. They did a nice job on it. The paint's not coming off with the coat hangers moving on it. Maybe they don't get moved very much. I don't know. The wood stain, that dark wood stain, does actually go nicely with the industrial pipe look, I guess. At least it does for me. So I don't know what that is. I can't see it well enough to tell. Nope, can't tell. But there's something in there that requires some ventilation. Inset lighting. There's AC in here too. And this closet is pretty good size. You don't need a closet kit. You do need a chest of drawers or maybe two to fit in here, for everything else. Although you've got lots and lots of shelf space. But I'd probably still want to do that because these shelves kind of feel like they're for shoes and maybe sweaters. And you don't have any place really for small wear, bras, panties, underwear, socks, that kind of thing. So, all right. So that's the master. This is the water closet. Fan works. Okay, we looked at the shower. We looked at the view. Just, you can just stand there and wave. Hi, guys. How's everybody doing? All right. And let me just, there we go. And that's it. I think we've seen the whole place. So what do I think about it? Well, first off, I thank you guys for putting in new carpet. If there's going to have to be carpet, at least the new carpet is the best. I appreciate that. I wish it was not carpet, but it's okay. I like the flow of the house. I like the number of rooms. I like the fact that the laundry facilities are upstairs where the bedrooms are. I wish there was one bedroom downstairs, but I guess you can use the office for that. The guest room is a good size and there's room for kids or other family members here still. And I appreciate that as well, especially since the guest room is off to one side and away from everybody else. The family members get to share the Jack and Jill, and the way they did that was thoughtful and intelligent. So I like all of that. I like the space. The height of the ceiling makes it feel open. Lots of windows let in lots of light. I just am, I appreciate so far all of that stuff. I like the downstairs tiles. I like the wood floors and the stairs in the stairwell. Okay, so I think that's enough said on all that. The color of the paint is good. My question is that enough of a backyard with no landscaping? Is an hour from the beach going to be okay? And 20 minutes to pretty much anything, shopping or gas or anything, is that going to be okay? And the size of the living room, I guess you could pull that light out and just give you a little bit extra space. Is that okay too? Those are the things that I'd be thinking of. 2 bathrooms downstairs, nice big kitchen. The problem is the kitchen is almost as big as the living room, in my opinion. And I don't really need a lot of grass in the back. That's probably enough for me. But gosh, I'd like to have something interesting back there just besides the grass. Once again, that's just me. So you'll have to make your own mind up. What do you think? We're going to get out of here now. 1133 Laurel Valley something. Get the key back in the box. This is J. Frederick Smith, Continental Realty of Jacks. And I'll see you guys at the next one.